So I am here in Dover in England. As you can probably tell from behind me, more specifically, I'm here at the White Cliffs, the gateway to England, the imposing cliffs that just jut straight out of the sea, it seems, and in fact have been written about as being massively imposing to anyone daring to come to the island ever since AD 55 and the invasion by Julius Caesar. These are the first things you see when coming to this island, whether that be from the First, Second World War or even further back into ancient Roman times. But on the other side of that, many have also written after war or when coming back after long travels that seeing the White Cliffs meant that they were home. It gave them a sense of warmth and letting them know that they were now safe. There is, of course, one thing that stands above all else and can be seen from every direction in the town, and that's Dover Castle. They call it the key to England, and for very good reason. For 9 centuries, whoever held Dover Castle held the gateway to Britain itself. William the Conqueror fortified the cliff top within days of Hastings. Henry II built the great stone tower that still dominates the skyline. Every monarch who feared invasion looked to Dover first. But beneath the castle, the story goes so much deeper, literally. Miles of tunnels cut into the chalk cliffs, used by Napoleon's enemies, repurposed by Churchill's generals. It was from these secret underground warrens that Vice Admiral Ramsay orchestrated the Dunkirk evacuation. 338,000 men saved from disaster planned in a hole in a cliff. Dover Castle has stood through the Norman Conquest, the 100 Years' War, the Armada, 2 World Wars and the Cold War. It has never fallen. Not just a fortress, not just a monument, the place where Britain decided again and again it would not be beaten. So I'm just here outside the Market Square kitchen. Now this is a pretty important building, in fact, here in Dover, and is steeped in history. Now many locals don't even seem to know this, but the Market Square kitchen was actually where David, from David Copperfield, that Charles Dickens story, actually came to rest after escaping his miserable time in London and basically walking for 6 days straight in the book down to Dover. It was confirmed by Charles Dickens a year after the original book in 1850 came out that these were the steps that he sat on when he was waiting to find his auntie here in Dover. And this building was here in 1788, originally opened by John Eggleston and as a bakery back then, and continued on that way all the way through to the 1960s. It stayed in the Eggleston family as well until it was closed in the 1960s, became a bookshop and stationers until coming back to its rightful place in catering and turning into the cafe that we now see behind us. It was actually rebuilt in 1905 due to the bank being opened next door, and it actually was expanded a little bit as well. But this is certainly a historic place here in Dover. So I'm here at the Roman painted house, and this is basically a historical area in Dover that many don't seem to know anything about. It's somewhat out of the way. It's not really in the town. It's not really in the ring road around it. It's very much out of the way, but it has been described as the finest painted Roman house in the whole of the UK. It's built from around 200 AD and has amazing frescoes throughout. It used to be part of the military base that was here in Dover. There's been military bases here so often, obviously being on the coast here, but this is from the Roman military base that was here, and it is survived all the way through to the 1970s when it was first discovered, and then over the decades that came, local archaeologists, specifically they do mention local archaeologists, are the ones that have dug it out and given us this here. And it is also completely free to enter, which is great when you're traveling around, because, you know, if you're anything like me, you probably spent the money somewhere else, but you still get to see the history when you travel, when it's completely free. So as you can see, with the ferries all around, this is the literal gateway to mainland Europe as well. In fact, it only being 20 miles away from these cliffs, on a good day, you can see the continent as well. You can see the shores of France. Think about when you stand here, you're far closer to Europe than you are to London. Now, Dover may not have the greatest reputation for various things today. Its reputation may have gone down, however, if you go to the right parts, its beauty is still absolutely undeniable, with the white cliffs, the greenery and amazing sights all around, and the history that is dug into this town. This is the gateway to England, and conversely, for the English, the gateway to Europe. I think this is a town that can give us so much, and I hope the future for this place is just as bright as its past.